trade stocks, but are simply just unsuccessful at it. It's not that you're a bad trader.
I'm up $953, $879, $1,300!
When people come up to me and they say, Dek, I'm just not a good stock trader, there's a whole bunch of baloney.
Oh my goodness, I just made $30,000. You guys want to see a show today? 20 grand in a day so far.
You know why I make so much money shorting? Because the answers are given to me.
$37,000. We're currently up $23,000, $24,000 right now. Let's go! This is high risk, high reward. Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm going for $100,000 today. $100,000 month coming its way, baby.
You may not know everything, but all of a sudden, it's gonna click.
$30,817 in the market today. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the stock market. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are here, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning to absolutely everybody. Woo! Traders, I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. Wake up. Get yourself going. Feel good here. Get yourself feeling alive. Traders, if you guys have not yet, smash that thumbs on up right here and right now, and let's make sure every single person understands again where this hype is, where this action is, where this activity is. We want to make sure that you guys are ready to go. Right now, it is currently 9:15 a.m. Let's take the next, 15 minutes, break down everything step by step, making sure that you are becoming the best trader that you can possibly become. And right now here, team, we have FTEL. Definitely a hot stock. Definitely has hot potential. Definitely going to be a play that people are going to be on top of. What else do we have here at this time? We are also going to be looking at not only FTEL, we are going to be looking at probably one of the fan favorites today, which is STGW. STGW, this is a stock that the majority of traders are looking at, and this one could go on a big rip and run. So we got about 14 minutes here. 14 minutes. Let's break down absolutely everything we need to do step by step right now together to make sure you are becoming the best stock trader that you guys can become. Now, what I would want to do is, again, head on over, click news alerts here. Once we get to our news alerts, we do have our Thursday watch list to everything we need to know. Let's scroll on down right now to the hot movers, okay? Hot movers at this time. There is one stock that is on every trader's radar. And that stock right now is STGW. STGW has been the play that the majority of traders have been focused on since early this morning. And the whole reason is because Palantir made a partnership with them. Palantir, you know it, I know it, we all know it. Palantir is one of the hottest stocks over the last 14, 15 months. It is a stock that has gone from around $10 all the way up towards over $200. We are talking about working with NVIDIA. We're talking about having billion-dollar contracts in the United States. We are talking about a play that has formed generational wealth. It is the play that everyone says, I wish I bought into. In 2023, everyone says, I wish I bought into NVIDIA. In 2024, 2025, people saying, I wish I bought into Palantir. And now we have a $4, $5 stock partnering with Palantir. So what happened? STGW right here formed a partnership with Palantir. For anyone who does not know, Palantir has been a very hot stock. When we see a partnership with only a $5 stock, as you guys can imagine, everyone starts running and ripping and spiking into this play. Everyone starts getting excited into this play, and everyone starts buying this one on up. Buyers immediately moved into STGW, rising the stock over 70% in a matter of 45 minutes. So people are saying to themselves, man, this is absolutely great. This is absolutely awesome. So STGW, A Palantir partnership. Let's actually scroll on down to the exact article. And it's right here. It says Palantir Technologies and Stagewell joined forces to design products for the future of marketing. So Palantir and Stagewell joins forces to produce product for the future of marketing. The new solution pairs Palantir's Foundry with code and theories, orchestration level software, marketing clouds, proprietary data, sources, and solutions. This combination creates state-of-the-art tools for large, complex teams to create and implement marketing programs at scale. So this is not like a complicated article. It's not anything that people are saying, man, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know why this is going on. Really, again, just the simple matter of the fact is you have one of the hottest stocks in the stock market partnering up with another smaller play. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of hype. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of attention. If we want to take a look over on STGW, though, right now, it does have an issue. And what's its main issue is that it is fading right now. There's no way around it. This was one of the hottest plays in the morning, but unfortunately, at this time, in this exact moment, it is fading. So can STGW find the buying momentum? Can we start getting back up to $8, break the VWAP, squeeze, rip and run back up to $9? I could definitely imagine this play closing up $11 or higher today. I mean, it's a good, solid press release. There's nothing negative about this in any sort of way. The stock is still up really good. It just needs to get that buying momentum, break this downtrend, buy or start moving on in. It's definitely going to be one that we are going to be focusing and watching right at the bell here. We also are going to have FTEL. FTEL, this is going to be a fan favorite. Now, why is FTEL a fan favorite? Well, this one also came out with a press release as well. Stock went from $2, formed an upper shadow, crashed back on down. Stock went from $2.75, spiked on up, formed its upper shadow, crashed back on down. Upper shadows are one of the easiest ways to know that a stock is going to reverse. When you have an upper shadow, get ready to see a reversal. When you see a stock squeeze and spike and rip and run and you have that upper shadow, watch for a drop and a fade right back on down. Spike, reverse, that's what we're getting. That's what we're seeing out of this play here. Now, FTEL, why is that one going crazy? You can actually see right here, FTEL would be the number 2 choice as of 9 a.m. Eastern time. This stock did come out with a press release saying it announces a $50 million stable coin. So we have been seeing a lot of news in 2025 of, I feel like, more of adoption of cryptocurrency, adoption of stablecoin, adoption of having an Ethereum treasury, adoption of having a Bitcoin treasury. When we have these cryptocurrency-like press releases, it is great that we have adoption towards it and all these companies setting up these treasuries in cryptocurrency, or in this case, announces a $50 million stablecoin financing for robotics, something that people are very excited about for the future and maybe could turn into a very nice trend. So that's, again, something people like, something people have been focusing on, and we will continue to keep our eyes peeled over on this play to see what we can do over on that stock. All right. So we do have, again, today, FTEL, today, STGW. Those are the 2 top ones. Those are the ones that the majorities are focused on. Unfortunately, as we said, right now, both of them have spiked and both of them are coming back on down. FTEL needs to get back above that $5 mark to really take on over. This one definitely kind of shows the more, has the more traits, definitely has the attributes of a pump and dump. Spike on up, dump on down. I mean, take a look at the past chart history pattern. Spike on up, dump on down. Spike on up, dump on down. Even again on its fair share of spike on up, dump on down. Spike on up, dump on down. It's had its fair share of big spikes and then again comes crashing right back on down. So we do need to be careful on this. We do need to be aware of this, that FTEL does have its fair share of rips and runs, comes crashing back on down. So let's stay ready. Let's stay alert on that. Guys, let's run through all the top gainers though. BIYA. Let's go back into a little bit of a larger time frame. We can see the entire thing. Let's make sure that we're just fully aware. Do we need to get ourselves involved in BIYA? Again, this stock is a sub $1 play. It's actually a sub 50-cent stock. Personally, not my favorite, and I don't see any news on this play. It's not really going to be a play that I'm going to be getting myself involved in. FRGE, I believe, did get an acquisition, got acquired. Whenever you see these acquired plays, they're just going to move sideways throughout the entire day. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any sort of big ripping and running when a stock gets acquired, as it gets acquired at a certain price and moves sideways across that price. See, what else do we have here? FTEL, big spike, big dump. STGW, big spike, big dump, has to get back above $8. GDEN, unfortunately, nothing happening right now at this time. ALTO, unfortunately, nothing happening right now at this time. We do obviously have FTEL and STGW, but at the same time, we're not seeing anything currently at highs. We're not seeing anything breaking new highs. We're not seeing anything that's getting big time spikes and big time breakouts right at this exact moment. So we got 7 minutes here, team. Let's start at the very bottom and let's just work our way up, making sure that we are fully aware of every single press release, every single move that we should. Okay, this is how I like to prep on the day. Number one thing I like to start off with is let's look at yesterday's number one top gainer. Yesterday, we know today, FTEL is not doing anything. We know today, we take a look at, again, the top gainer, STGW partnership with Palantir, incredible. But unfortunately, at this exact moment, it's fading and falling. So let's try to look for some backups. Let's see if any of these plays could possibly go on a nice rip and run. Number one, we do have MTC. MTC right here. This stock, this was a play that ran 600%. Now, I do not see any news or any credibility, but yesterday at the time of 3 o'clock, this started getting some hype and went from 50 cents all the way up to $3. That's pretty crazy to think about. Now it's back on down towards 156. Just because this stock did go so crazy yesterday, I could imagine people opening on up at the bell today and going right back over to MTC. So there is a chance that right at the bell, MTC goes from 156, gets halted, and spikes up to 190. There is easily that chance because if a stock runs 600% in one day, there is going to be excitement carried over into the next day. MTC, I would definitely write that one on down as a top stock to watch at the bell. Okay? What else do we have here? Charles Schwab, deal to buy Forge Global. Again, that's the press release right here when we're talking about FRGE. Unfortunately, FRGE is just going to move sideways. Charles Schwab is buying FRGE, and it'll probably say what price they're buying it at, somewhere in here. But again, when you get picked up at a certain deal or at an acquisition, you are just going to be moving sideways most likely throughout the entire day. We also had WORX this morning. WORX was the number one, number two top gainer for a while. It did not have any news. It did not have any credibility. It only had 7 million in float, but WORX seems like it's been following the trend. And what's the trend? Spike early in pre-market, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it gives all of its gains on back. This is why being up and being awake and being aware is so important, because sometimes the best plays happen at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they happen at 7:30 in the morning. And if you are not aware of them, unfortunately, you just can't trade. So what are the most talked about headlines? Again, if you guys want to read this, go ahead and check this on out. PBM expands clinical sites in phase 2 study. PBM, I think, unfortunately, also following the spike and dump. Never really got a lot of hype, but we'll keep our eyes peeled on this. Also, little heads on up here, traders. Robinhood came out with its earnings last night. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Robinhood did come out with its earnings last night, and Hood starting to get a little bit of a spike. Hood has jumped $300 million in 2022 to $1.275 billion in 2025. You guys can see the massive amount of revenue that Hood has made over the last 3 years. We are seeing more people trade from their phones. We are seeing more people download the app. We are seeing more people invest in general. People like to be able to put money in on an app or put money in wherever in a brokerage and start trading. I get it. People like to have fun and like to trade. I love that. But Robinhood right here has gone from a $300 million revenue company to $1.27 billion in the matter of 3 years. That's pretty impressive. Palantir, small partnership with a different company, didn't really get any sort of movement on it. And then again, STGW had the STGW threw it in right here, announces a groundbreaking partnership with Palantir, and then there's more. You know, here's the more detail on that right now. So we basically have gone over absolutely everything we need. Little side note, here is the S&P 500 regression to trend. Basically, if we wanted to draw an average on the S&P 500 down the middle of the chart, guess what happens? When we get above the chart, we fall back underneath it. When we go underneath it, we climb back above it. We're pretty overextended right now. So, you know, this is the normal average regression. This is the normal average climb on the S&P 500. We are a little overextended. You know, you can take that how you want it. I still believe the market's going to continue to move on up in 2026. I think a nice pullback will happen in 2027. Other than that, though, traders, we are fully aware of everything that's happening over on this day. STGW, number 1 play. Number 2 play, FTEL. Both of them, unfortunately, have been fading and falling. Here are all the top gainers on the day. And then other than that, though, traders, we are all set. FRGE, let's just take a look real quick. All the best plays with news. FRGE, again, they got bought out by Charles Schwab. Unfortunately, that's not going to move. We do have FTEL. FTEL, again, getting that $50 million stablecoin into robotics. We like this one a lot, but at the same time, it spiked and dumped all the way back on down. STGW, as we know already, has a groundbreaking partnership with Palantir. So again, this play, we will continue to keep our eyes peeled on it, but unfortunately, this one isn't really moving at this time as well. So all the top gainers, we're aware of it. Everything that we need to be on top of, we're looking at. We are all set, ready to go. There is not one play that we're not aware of. BIYA, again, only a 30-cent stock. Unfortunately, I'm not going to touch it. It also does not have any news. There's FTEL, there's STGW, nothing that we're missing. This is what I like to do every single morning. Get myself prepared. There should never be a trade that we're saying, oh, stock XYZ, what the heck? We should know FTEL. We should know STGW. We should know BIYA. We should know every single move, FRGE, getting acquired. There should not be any stock that going into the bell today, we are not fully prepped and aware of. That's how we can trade with confidence. That's how we can jump in on stocks and feel good about our plays. That's how, again, we can be able to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and pull the trigger and feel good. Let's feel smart. Let's make sure we're doing things right. So, want to make sure every single person is aware, every single person is ready, and let's just make sure that we are all good here, team. Want to make sure I'm checking everything on out. If you guys have not, all I ask is, again, one thing, smash that thumbs on up. That's all I ask for every single day. Smash that thumbs on up. You guys will be all set. $9:30 in the morning. Wake up, people! We got ourselves a day, as always. It is always absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely always amazing to be here with the squad, be here with the team, be here with the community. Let's see what does spike here today. Let's see what starts taking on off. Let's see where the momentum is going to go. I can say this week, unfortunately, we have not been seeing a whole lot of, big rippers and runners, right? Have we? No. We have not been seeing any sort of craziness this week. We really haven't. Right now at this time, we are all just sitting here and saying to ourselves, where is the next big spike? Where is the next big run? KUKE, a little bit of a pop right here. Guys, market is now live. Let's see if FTEL can get a little bit of a rebound. No, I will say today's a big day for me. Now, why is today a big day for me? For anyone who does not know, what is one of the long-term companies that I'm currently invested in? AMPX. AMPX, guys, I am invested into this company at the price of $12.60, 500 shares. That's about a $6,250 investment, right around there, to kind of give you a little bit of a heads on up. AMPX actually has earnings coming on up. I believe they're tonight. And so AMPX, that's definitely going to be a big one. We also want to keep our eyes peeled on Joby, J-O-B-Y. Joby has earnings tonight as well for anyone that's interested in the electric, aviation world that's coming. So AMPX, earnings coming out tonight. Joby has earnings coming on out tonight. Let's see what else we have as earnings coming on out here tonight. So right here, Thursday after the close, we do have a few big ones, traders, and we do have at this moment Trade Desk, Open Door. Guys, why is Open Door important? Open Door, that's like the Reddit one. That's like, the AMC, GameStop, Open Door, OPEN. That was a very hot meme play back in early summer. We also have IREN. IREN has to do with data centers. So again, for anyone who does not know, IREN has been actually one of the best investments of 2025. It has to do with data centers and storing energy. And a lot of people, again, have been investing over there. So IREN, you could keep your eyes peeled on it. SoundHound, S-O-U-N. SoundHound is the leader for AI voice. So again, a lot of times when you go to a drive-through, it's all through SoundHound. If you, again, have a telemarketer call, it's SoundHound. If, again, you're talking to someone online, that's not really a person. It's usually through SoundHound. We also know, again, DraftKings is coming on up tonight. DraftKings is pretty good. We basically live in a world nowadays where every single person is, gambling in some way or another. That's not good in any sort of way, but DraftKings has been making a massive amount of money off of it. The nonstop gambling pandemic, if you want to think about it. We also have Archer. Archer is Joby's nemesis. It's their enemy. So electric planes, electric aviation, they do have their earnings coming on out here tonight. So make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. That's going to be really cool. That's going to be really awesome, and we are excited about that. Gonna be a good day. Good day for everyone. Good day for traders. Good day for peace. Good day for love, baby. IREN. Let's see. SPY, if you guys see anything going crazy, please let me know. More than happy to, again, dive into any of these plays. So, traders, this was also really neat. I kind of wanted to bring this on up. I wanted to talk about this for a little bit. This, I went out yesterday. So I went out, actually, was it last night? No, it was 2 nights ago. I didn't bring it up to you guys yesterday at all just because I didn't think it was a big deal, but I wanted to do some research. So I went out yesterday. I usually walk my dog out in kind of this little farm patch that is behind my house. And I walked him out at night and I looked up into the sky. And then I saw something that I've never seen before. And I love space. I love, again, doing research on space. It's one of my favorite hobbies. But look at this. So again, this was I was walking my dog the other night, and I know what it is now, but I thought it was I was looking at this and I was like, what the heck is that? So again, this was me just stopping in my tracks and looking up into space and saying, what the heck is that? Because I didn't know what that was. And I zoom in on it right here. And let me zoom in right here. There you go. And I'm thinking, what the heck is in space right now? What the heck is that thing? And it's a little harder to see, obviously, on camera. But I'm looking up to the stars, and it's a pretty beautiful night. And I'm just saying to myself, what the heck is going on? Now, if anyone does not know, does anyone know what this was? Did anyone else see this in the sky the other night? Did anyone else, again, realize what that was? And trust me, guys, we're going to get investment-wise here. That was actually a SpaceX launch. So that was actually a Elon Musk rocket. So they launched from Texas, California, and Virginia. And that was actually a rocket that was launched from Virginia flying on up. And I saw it in Pennsylvania. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really interesting. Now, we can actually see here, team, you cannot invest into SpaceX. You can't. But basically, SpaceX is a billion dollar company. Now, pop quiz right now. Does anyone know what funds SpaceX? What is the unlimited money glitch? Does anyone know what it is? The unlimited money glitch. Now, for instance, I will again tell you guys this for a little backstory at this moment. There is an infinite money glitch over for Amazon. Amazon, they obviously make a lot of money, right? But one of their go-to money glitches is AWS. Now, AWS is for hosting. And not every single website, but again, for the majority of websites, they either host their website on the internet through GoDaddy or maybe AWS. So AWS allows your site to be online. The majority of people use AWS. And AWS is something that, again, you're set, you're good. They made the program, they're all good. You can host on our servers. And it's almost like their infinite money glitch. No matter what, people are going to use AWS, and Amazon is always going to be making tons of money from people hosting their websites on the internet, and then they can go ahead and use this money and spend on whatever they want through Amazon, right? That's how it works. Now, let's try to compare this to something else. We have SpaceX. We have SpaceX here. Now, SpaceX is a billion-dollar company. They're constantly launching these rockets into space. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of craziness from it. We know that there could be a lot of wild things. This is flames coming out the bottom of a rocket ship. Now, who knows what is their infinite money glitch? Their infinite money glitch, if you guys do not know, is Starlink. Starlink is up in the atmosphere. Starlink, you might have seen it fly by you before. It is a whole bunch of these satellites that give you Wi-Fi. It's satellites that allow you to connect to the internet. It's satellites that no matter where you are in the world, you have service. Do you guys remember back in the day, you'd be like, oh, I don't have any bars. Oh, I don't have any service. Oh, I can't make a call. With Starlink, you could be in the middle of the Sahara Desert and you can make a call. So that's why, again, it's so great and so amazing. So basically, Starlink is the infinite money glitch right here, which again allows SpaceX. So when people want to actually invest into SpaceX, one great way to be able to do that is be able to invest into Starlink. Where, well, you might say, well, Dek, Starlink isn't available to trade. But has anyone seen over the past month what happened with Starlink? Starlink actually gave away 2% of the company into a publicly traded company. It's the only company out there that actually has ownership in Starlink. Does anyone know what that company is? That company, if you guys do not know, is SATS, which is EcoStar. So EcoStar, STAS, is the only publicly traded company that has ownership into Starlink. And as you guys can see, once this deal was made, obviously everyone's been running over into EcoStar. So again, SATS, we can actually go back here, guys. We can go back over towards a monthly chart, and we could see all the way back in 2009. 2009, SATS was 19 bucks. Then it went up to 60 bucks. Then it came all the way back down to 13 bucks. And now it's chilling all the way up at $73. Do you know why it's chilling at 73 bucks? Because now we have partnership. Now we have ownership. There is actually right now, think about this, guys. This is actually pretty crazy to think about as well. And this is, again, just me doing my research at this time. There is Starlink right here, okay? Here's EcoStar right here. Starlink said, we are going to give you 2% of our company. That's great. So out of this 2%, it is actually 90% is held by institutions, institutional investments. So out of the 2%, we have 90% held by institutions. There is actually only 10% that retail traders or people of the public can get of the 2% because 90% is held by institutions. So there is a very little amount of shares that you can invest to actually own part of Starlink, which is on track to be a multi-billion-dollar company at this moment, because it is literally, there's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it. There's no other satellites up in the sky giving people service from all over the world. So if you are interested in that and you're thinking, hey, Dek, I think cell phones are going to get more advanced. Hey, Dek, I think, again, the space race will get more advanced. Hey, Dek, I think satellites and being able to have servers is going to be more popular, and it's going to be more, again, something that people are going to like. Well, EcoStar is your way to invest into space, into Starlink, which would be, again, kind of investing in SpaceX as well. So once this partnership has happened, every single person now is saying this is a proxy. What's a proxy? Proxy is basically a way to invest into a company without actually investing into a company. Right? So SATS, I did want to put that on your back burner and at least have every single person that's listening be aware of this. So if anyone, again, says, hey, you know what, this is, a huge deal, absolutely. People are saying this is massively undervalued at this moment. Massively undervalued. Now, I still have to do a lot more research on this company. But this is basically me sitting down last night, diving into my little black hole for a little bit, and saying to myself, "Hey, you know what? This is something that we want to be looking at." So could this be something big here? Let's go through the Twitterverse right now. SATS expanding its SpaceX position up by 30%. The SpaceX treasury strategy appears to be in full swing. Let's see what else we have here. SATS, SpaceX bought Spectrum from a company most investors ignored. SATS, EcoStar investors, what's your confidence in Charlie Ergen's ability to invest in the future? He returns as CEO. Let's see here. Anything else that's big, like over the last... EcoStar sells AWS 3 spectrum licensing for SpaceX for $2.68 billion. So basically, again, like the amount of money that's in space, in satellites, in spectrum, in hosting, it's insane. Everyone is going to be competing for basically the air, for these radio waves, for these spectrum waves. Do I like this company? 100%. For the future. So that's kind of what I was diving into. SATS agreed to sell its AWS 3 spectrum license to SpaceX for about $2.6 billion, and SpaceX expanding its prior SpaceX to pay EcoStar for spectrum license. So put that on your back burner. Be willing to do some research if you guys want. You know, I definitely think make sure that we're all set right now. SpaceX might be making more money, but again, Starlink is growing insanely. Absolutely. Right now here, traders. Let's see what we have. Rich, I'm trying to figure out this joke. I'm not getting the joke, Rich. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening. So I don't understand it. I'm trying to think of that. Please explain it to me. But I absolutely love the space game. I wish I invested into Rocket Lab when I saw it back at like 11 bucks. Dek, what would be a good time to invest back in Rocket Lab? Hey, the best time to always invest, the easiest cheat code, the cheat code in stock trading. If anyone ever wants to just be like, hey, Dek, you know, tell me, like, if anyone ever said this, if anyone came up to me and was just like, Dek, I know nothing about stock trading in any sort of way. I fail every single class. No one, again, has ever trusted me. I am a loser in life. Okay, I will give you the cheat code in stock trading right now. The best thing to do is always go into a larger time frame. When you're in on a 1 minute time frame, you are getting the least amount of detail possible. You are basically going with, hey, you know, right now this goes up a little, goes down a little bit. You can't ever actually have any true conviction. The larger the time frame you go in, if that's 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, even stepping back to the daily, the weekly, the monthly, is the more strength you have. Imagine 1 minute being a little small child, very weak. You go back to 5 minute. Okay, you have a 10-year-old. You go to a 30-minute, a 22-year-old. You are going to the daily, the weekly. Basically, you're growing with age. You have more conviction. You have more intelligence. You have more strength. So when you go back into a larger time frame, you are going to have easier, clear consensus spikes and drops that everyone can agree on. What I mean by this is, for example, let's take a look at Rocket Lab. If Rocket Lab ever came back on down to the 50 weekly moving average, you can see that would be an incredible bounce play. That's where it bounced in the past. That's where it will bounce again in the future when we do come back down towards this area. Let's take example of the S&P 500. S&P 500. Notice, where did we get our perfect bounces at? Here's again the 200 weekly moving average. Bounce play, bounce play. You can see, comes back on down, bounce play. This 200 weekly moving average would always be the best possible entry. If you want to go back larger to the monthly moving average, the S&P 500 monthly 50-month moving average, you could see perfect bounce in 2016. That was the absolute bottom. You could see perfect bounce in 2018. That's the absolute bottom. You could see perfect bounce back here in 2020, absolute bottom. You could see perfect bounce right here back in 2022. That was the absolute bottom. You could see perfect bounce in 2025. That was the absolute bottom. So you could see that these are the absolute bottoms over on these plays. The larger the time frame, the better. The larger the time frame, the easier the clarity you're going to have. That's all I'm trying to say right here. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at the S&P 500. It doesn't matter if you're taking a look over on Rocket Lab. You know, you could say to yourself, the larger the time frame, and you use the main indicators, the 50-month moving average, the 200-month moving average, or if you even like the 13 EMA, the 13 exponential moving average, if that's on a monthly or weekly chart, you will always have more conviction on a monthly, weekly chart, You know, daily chart's fine, but again, if you're really looking for the best investments, the weekly or monthly chart is always going to be the best. Always. Always, every single time. Doesn't matter what chart you look at. If you are wondering, hey, Dek, how did you again get in on the lowest day of the year? I probably made the greatest trade of my life this year. I jumped in on the S&P 500, on Palantir, on NVIDIA, on Google, on the lowest day of the year, which was Monday, April 7th. Why did I do that? I was taking a look at the S&P 500 on the monthly chart, and I bought in when I believed, hey, we're getting close enough to this monthly chart that we should be able to get a great dip buy and a great bounce. That's all it comes on down to, traders. Want to make sure every single person understands that. Right now, team, S&P 500 trying to get a little bit of that bounce play, you know, working itself back on up though. WRX was again the stock this morning here, traders. I remember stock this morning over on WRX did not have any sort of news. That was, again, the big issue with this one. So you can see WRX, no news, number one top gainer, 70% gain. Low float mover on no news. So WRX, this is just a little bit of a pump here. One stop prop deck. Check out all the highly requested stocks we added for you guys. Absolutely. Again, we went over this yesterday, but again, we can go over it here today. For anyone that's interested over in prop firm trading, again, One Stop Prop did just add some of the best plays out there. We do have AMD, SoFi, Palantir app, Broadcom, MicroStrategy, Snowflake, Super Microcomputer, Oklo, the Hood. These are all plays now that you guys can go ahead and trade over on One Stop Prop. Make sure you guys go check them on out. Being able to get, again, more options, more trades, more, and no limitations. That's what us as traders like. We like plays that, hey, if I like this play, I want to have it available, right? Absolutely. That's what it comes on down to. So again, shout out to One Stop. Thank you so much for, again, getting more options for us to be able to trade every single day. And let's see here. SPY right now. NVIDIA trying to hold itself on up. Usually, just a little side note as well. You know, whenever we have, let's say, massive crashes or massive spikes, they usually happen on Fridays, like around 1 o'clock. I feel like this week, and please again, correct me if I am wrong, but I will say this week is probably the slowest week we have had since August. Would you guys agree or disagree? I would say, again, this week has probably been the slowest week. That means lack of volume, lack of volatility, lack of opportunity since August. We haven't seen like a 100% top gainer spike and get halted. We haven't seen a 100% top gainer spike, move itself up to 200, hold itself for 30, 45 minutes before fading and falling. I haven't had the sense of FOMO. I haven't had emotions in the last week where I said, man, am I missing out on this play? Oh, man, I wish I got involved in the stock. Oh, man, again, what am I doing? I missed out on this one or that one or this one or that one, right? You know, I haven't had that sense that I've missed out on any sort of play in any sort of way. I am excited, as you guys know, tonight, AMPX. I want to see if AMPX, how that earnings is going to be for me. You know, obviously, I want it to be good. Every single play I get involved in, obviously, I want to be able to win. That's what it's all about. But I do like that EcoStar play. SATS, guys. SATS, I would love. I will say, if SATS, you know, Dek, let's check it out. Where's, again, a great opportunity to be able to get filled. Weekly chart, 13 exponential moving average. Comes on down towards around that $64 region. That could be a great place to get filled. Let's go back over towards a monthly chart maybe. Monthly chart. Again, you guys can always just take a look at past chart history pattern. Past chart history pattern. And again, where's a great area to get filled? Get filled at old spiking highs. That's going to be holding up as the new resistance area. So again, where old resistance is, right here, old resistance usually will hold up as nice support. That means, again, somewhere back down towards around like 62, right? So 61, 62. If you ever get like 65 or lower, that's a great dip buy opportunity. So again, SATS, this is, again, one of those plays that I think a lot of traders are going to be focusing on and a lot of traders are going to be looking at. So I'm not in on SATS in any sort of way at this moment, but what I will say is I do think there is a great opportunity to be able to get filled and for you guys to be able to make money on this one. So I do like that. And also, again, I just kind of like the whole space vibe. Favorite movie. Best movie ever created. Interstellar. Christopher Nolan. 2014. Matthew McConaughey. That is the greatest movie ever created. You have action. You have drama. You have horror. You have fear. You have love. You have romance. It's a movie that makes you want to get up. It's a movie that want to get excited. It's a movie that makes you cry. That's the greatest masterpiece in cinema history. Would you agree or would you disagree? Deck, if you think that's good, you should check out the movie Spaceballs. Spaceballs, okay. I'll check it out. Probably best movies of all time. Interstellar. Gotta be number 1 or number 2. I think as a cinematic film point, we might have to go with like Saving Private Ryan. I think that's an incredible movie. I think another great movie, The Land Before Time, 1993, those little baby dinosaurs. I think that was a great movie as well. Put that up with like the Titanic. And then probably like The Dark Knight. Deck, if you like Saving Private Ryan, you should check out Shaving Ryan Privates. I think we're on the... I think you're watching the wrong... I think you clicked the wrong link. That sounds like, again, you try to type it in on Google and you said, hey, let's watch again this movie for free. And you got taken a little on the wrong site. I'll tell you right now, you ain't watching the same site... I'll tell you right now, you're deep in the internet. You're in some parts that I haven't been in there yet. I would, again, probably say you want to stay away from that one. Get the antiviruses out. Put on a VPN. Maybe think about some new decisions in your life. DTCK. DTCK. Trying to get a little bit of hype. DTCK. This one actually looks like it's going to start fading. Anyone looking for a possible short over on DTCK? So DTCK, we got to stay alert over on this play here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to, again, make the daily announcement here. Because tomorrow is the final day. And, again, I am pumped to hear about all the amazing people that took advantage of it. But at the same time here, team, I'm speaking to you if you guys have not taken advantage of this. I, again, work as hard as I can to possibly get you guys the best deals. If you have not yet, literally today and tomorrow is the final day of this sale. And what the sale is, as we know, is if you sign up to Cobra Trading, aka the broker that I use, aka the broker that's been voted for the last 5 years the #1 online broker. They are going to give you trade ideas. They are going to give you Fox Runner. They are going to give you DOS platform for free, and they will not charge you until the end of the year. So if you sign up to Cobra Trading, they are doing a bundle right now where you get everything for free. You get scanners for free. You get platform for free. You get trades for free. You do not need to pay $1 single until the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, you have 50% off commissions for life. So if you guys have not taken advantage of this yet, please take a second, go ahead, click this link. You guys will be all ready. Sign on up and you will get the bundle. It just blows my mind. There are still people that have not taken advantage of it just yet. You have 2 days left. Again, this is not me selling a course. This is not me saying, hey, everyone sign up to Tradecaster. This is not me saying, hey, guys, pay me money. This has nothing to even do with me. This is the fact that you guys hit me up and say, hey, is there any way you guys can get me a discount on this? Can you guys, again, try to get a partnership with this? This is me saying this is literally something that I've been working on to try to make sure every single person doesn't have to pay any money. So it has nothing to do with me. I don't own a brokerage. I'm not telling you guys to buy a course. It is sign up. You get everything for free. Okay? I just want to make it clear. People again hit me up and they're like, Dek, what's the catch here? What's the catch? There is no catch. I don't do catches. You sign up, you get shit for free. That's it. Okay? So, take advantage of it. You guys are missing out if you guys haven't yet. I hate that we live in a place sometimes where people, again, just like, they just don't trust it. They're just like, what's the catch here? Where am I paying the secret money? It's like, I don't know. When you're with me, I try to avoid all that, slimy stuff. It's literally, here it is. Enjoy it. And I just always try to put myself back into your shoes. I put myself back into, again, when I first started and I didn't have as much money. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, I wish I could just get stuff for free. I wish someone could teach me how to trade without, again, trying to force me to buy a $3,000 course. I wish I could get scanners that, again, weren't, again, costing me $500 a month. I wish, again, my broker had shorts. That's just what I think about. I think about that stuff. And I think, all right, hey, if I can help out some traders, let me do that. If I can give away education, let me do that. If I can get a bundle and get people scanners, let me do that. If I can save you money and make you a better trader and allow you to focus on your trades, let me do that. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm trying to do. So that's right there for you. So you guys are all set, ready to go. Lickety Split. Dek, that's why you're the best online mentor. Thank you, Lickety Split. Lickety Split! Lickety. Lickety Split. Yeah, they call me Rabbit. This is a turtle race. FTEL. Guys, FTEL. This is what we kind of expected out of this play. Stock was going on a big rip, starting to crash back on down. Big spike on FTEL, straight back on down. Guys, WORX still trying to squeeze on up here a little bit. WORX trying to squeeze on up here a little bit. Again, no news on this play in any sort of way. How's Apple doing ever since Nancy Pelosi sold? So again, Nancy Pelosi, let's actually see the exact price. Nancy Pelosi, she started selling her shares before Apple's earnings, right? So, we can do this in two different ways here. We can click Nancy Pelosi at this time, and we know that she made her first sale on Apple. It was $250,000, and the transaction date was on October 21st. Let's just figure this out right here. So Nancy got out of partial of her Apple shares on October 21st. That means it was sitting at the price, October 21st. She sold when it was right around 262. So this is where Nancy got out. Now, it's still holding up to 269. So right now, Nancy's incorrect. Right now, Nancy, she would have done better if she kept on holding. Let's see what happens in the future. Maybe it could be something. Were there anyone else selling Apple? We can just type in AAPL. And let's see if anyone else was selling Apple. See, this is where things get a little interesting, though. Where we have, again, David J. Taylor selling Apple on October 29th. Nancy Pelosi on October 23rd selling. Valerie Hoyle selling Apple. Adam B. Schiff selling Apple. Shelly Moore Capillo selling Apple. It's interesting when you see 5 different people selling Apple with all in the same month. All in the government, all selling Apple within the same month. That's kind of those things that kind of steps up red flags to me. Let's type in NVIDIA. Let's type in Palantir. Let's see Palantir here. So if we typed in Palantir, so again, look at this. It has just been buy. There's barely any selling on Palantir. It's basically throughout this whole entire year, buy. It's always interesting when you start seeing people sell. Even right here, NVIDIA, Sheldon Whitehouse selling his NVIDIA. Valerie Hoyle selling. Sheldon selling. You can always watch this, and all of a sudden maybe you start seeing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people start selling these plays. That's where all of a sudden you might start saying, ooh, something's interesting is happening, right? Something interesting is happening at this time. So right now here, traders, keeping our eyes peeled. But no, I feel you right now. Brandon saying, Dek, I want to see a trade right now. Hey, I completely agree in every single sense. I mean, guys, I can ask the floor. I can ask the community. I don't think I'm sitting here, again, being a bad guy by, basically talking, speaking about ideas and saying to you guys right now, what is there worth to trade? Yes, team, I have two options. Number one, I take off my shirt. I take off my pants. I sit here with nothing but, again, cheeks on the wood, and I put in $50,000 after closing my eyes and throwing a random dart at the screen and saying, whatever happens, let's buy into it and gamble. That's one option. Or the other option is saying, hey, you know what? I don't need to force. I don't need to put myself in a position where I'm going to lose. Let's sit back. Let's stay smart. Let's not do it. Let's not put ourselves in a random stock right now. Our number one top gainer, again, we have a 95% top gainer, which is spiking right now, which has no news. There's no news. There's no credibility. If anything, WORX is most likely going to hit the 200-day moving average and then come crashing right back on down. So the thing is, 200-day moving average, 58 cents, has great odds of hitting, reversing back on down. If it breaks through it, you might get up to 61, 62. What's this area? 62, 63, and then maybe fall back on down from there. So again, I do think WRX is coming on up towards a little bit of a top. Remember, there is no news. If anything, sure. I would say, again, we could look for a possible short over here. Let's see what we have here. WORX, this play. If it can, again, hit that 200-day moving average, start fading and falling. How much would like 6,000 shares be? 6,000 shares. Locate lowest, cancel. 6,000 shares, it cost $165. Little heads on up. So again, the shorts would be not really that expensive, but again, 6,000 shares, you are again going to be spending $165. But you guys can realize what's happening. You're most likely going to hit the 200-day moving average and start getting a reversal from there, right? Take a look at this. You hit the 200-day moving average, you start fading. This is why having, again, two different time frame charts is so important. I always love to have the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute time frame is going to give me the most amount of detail about today only. The daily time frame is going to give me the overall consensus. So I always like to trade with two time frames: 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, right? That's going to be on the left side, and the right side is going to be the daily chart, which sometimes I might switch over to like a weekly chart, or maybe again switch over to a monthly chart to see if there's anything that's like coming on up. But it's always, I like to have the most amount of detail possible in today. And then I always like to have the broad view and the overall strength and weakness, the overall reversal points. So right here, as you guys can see, I know WRX is moving up. On the daily chart, I do know there's strong 60-cent resistance. And if I go back over towards a weekly chart right here, the 50-week moving average, it's at 79 cents. So I would say if we break through 60, 61, the target would be all the way up towards around 79. That's the next major target. So I can get my reversal points. I can get where, again, trouble's going to be at from looking at the daily chart, the weekly chart, the monthly chart, and then, again, have more detail on the exact, candle movements on the 1 minute, 2 minute chart. So that's how I usually like to trade, and that's what I like to, focus on. So here comes that reversal. And this is how, again, this is where you can predict the stock market. People always say this question, guys, and it's a great question. I'm not going to lie to you. When people ask me all the time, and I want to just kind of bring this on over, it's probably the most popular question people say is saying, can you really predict stocks? Can you really predict the market? And the answer is yes and no. If you told me, hey, Dek, what's going to happen on stock OSRH in the next 5 minutes? I would say I have no idea. It's a 50-50. Might go up, might go down. I can't tell you. Hey, Dek, what's going to happen on LGHL in 30 minutes from now? I'm not a fortune teller. I have no idea. So where is the predictability? The predictability is going to be at certain times in certain areas. So we know WORX is going to run into the 200-day moving average at the price of 60 cents. Just like it ran into the 200-day moving average up near around 130. We could see that the stock is known to have big upper shadows and usually gives a lot back. Big upper shadow usually gives a lot back. I can make the prediction that WRX, when it hits that 200-day moving average, we are going to see some red candles. And that's exactly what we have right now at this moment, where we have nice big climb. We come up to 60 cents, and we just had a pullback back down to 53 cents, where if we know 60 cents is going to be holding up as some sort of resistance, that could be a great time to be able to get out. That could be a great time to look for a short entry. That could be a great time to be able to say, hey, we're probably going to see some sort of reversal around this area. So what can we do? We can always pick a random 50-50. Stock's going to go up or stock's going to go down. Or we could be able to say, these are areas that there's a chance of either a breakout or a chance of a reversal. And from there, I can either A, look to get out, B, look to enter a short, or C, wait for that break of resistance and see if, again, all of a sudden a short squeeze could happen. So it's always about areas of predictability. That's where your odds can be in your favor. Not just randomly picking, hey, FATN, is this going to go up and down? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. But if you ask me, okay, WRX, what could happen next on this play if we start breaking? Well, if we start breaking out right now, I'm going back over towards, as I said, a monthly moving average, or excuse me, let's go back over towards a weekly time frame and say, all right, hey, the next main target, right? This is how I would, determine this play. The next main target, what can we realize? If you look at the past chart history pattern, we hit the blue line, we fade. That was in 2023. We hit the blue line, we fade back in 2023. We hit the blue line, we hit the blue line, we hit the blue line, we hit the blue line. Nearly 8 out of 10 times when we've hit the blue line, aka the 50-week moving average, we have been seeing a reversal. That blue line is at the price of 79 cents. If you hold on to this play and you say to yourself, where are you going to sell? I'm going to sell somewhere around 79 cents, or I'm going to do a short entry around 79 cents. That's going to be where the odds are now in your favor. You have a better chance of being correct there than randomly buying or shorting right now. You know what I mean? So again, is stock trading gambling? You can easily make it gambling. Is stock trading predictable? You can make it predictable. So yes, if someone says is stock trading gambling, it depends on who you are. The answer is yes, right? Is stock trading, again, let's say a major risk? You don't have to make it a risk, right? You can always make things risky or less risky. For instance, let's imagine we're climbing Mount Everest, okay? I can make Mount Everest a risky climb. How? Well, I can go up with no oxygen. I could go up with only a t-shirt. I can go up with no ropes. I can go up with no Sherpas. I can go up with no guide, no nothing. I'm just climbing up Mount Everest and I'm coming back on down. That's a very risky climb. To have no support, no guides, no warm clothes, no oxygen, no ropes, no tools, no nothing. Very risky. You're probably going to die. Or you say, hey, I'm going to go with a massive group of people that have done it multiple times with, again, the most amount of supplies I possibly can. What are your odds of success? They increase much higher. So in everything you do in life, you can always think about where can I increase it. Stock trading is no different. Sure, you can have massive risk or you can have massive success. It comes down to you as a trader. Right now, market's starting to turn a little bit. S&P 500. Trying to get a little bounce back on up right here. S&P 500 trying to get a little bit of that bounce at this moment. Palantir at this moment also, again, getting a little bit of a drop. A lot of plays here, team, getting a little bit of that drop. So right here, traders, WRX, still again, best play, BYAI, CCLD, ALTO, REVE, FLL, APYX. Again, we're down to like 12% top gainers. The only stock that's relevant is WORX at this time. Little bit of a slower day, a little bit of some slower climbs here. Tonight, we do have, again, AMPX earnings, as I talked about. And we also have, again, some big ones, some very fun ones today. What are the fun ones? I'm going to say all those electric, EVs. Joby, earnings tonight. Archer, earnings tonight. ACHR, right? All have their earnings tonight. So that is earnings after the bell here. If you guys do have any open questions, comments, or concerns Right now is an absolutely beautiful time to ask. Obviously, I want to help you. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to make sure you guys are getting all the questions and clarity that you guys possibly can. We have not traded so far this week. It is Thursday, and I have not touched anything. And really, it just comes on down to I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to be able to, again, put myself in on plays that I know are good. So, again, we have everything right in front of us. And historically speaking, November is one of the strongest months of the year. So if you take a look over on the SPY monthly performance, S&P 500 monthly performance, I don't care where you guys click, you guys can see right here, on average, the S&P 500 usually drops in September. We didn't drop in September. We actually climbed like 3% in September. And then we usually have October, November, December be nice, rally months. That's the normal trend. The normal trend here is drop in September, then again October, November, December. December, the fourth quarter is usually the strongest quarter that we have. October, November, December, this is usually when Bitcoin does the best. This is usually when the markets move on up. But so far in November, ladies and gentlemen, November, we've seen Bitcoin fall underneath 100,000. We've seen AI bubbles, talks happen. We saw Palantir drop, NVIDIA drop. We've been seeing everything fade and fall, right? So the thing is, we usually fade. We usually get ugly. September is usually the toughest month. And look at November. November is usually all green. December is usually all green. So make sure that you guys just get that. But right now, we are not following the historic pattern. Right now, we are not following what history usually shows us. MTC, new high of the day. MTC, guys, again, this was yesterday's #1 top gainer. MTC yesterday spiked over 600% yesterday on no news. No news, no credibility. Stock went a little nuts. Stock went a little wild. Didn't do, so we got to keep our eyes peeled on this one. Let's make sure that we're aware. Let's make sure that we're on top of it. Let's make sure we're being all smart here. WORX here, team. Come on. AFJK. AFJK. I mean, this one says it's gone from $15 to $21. Yeah. I don't know. Again, the one that I do like that's going to be on my watch list, I suggest everyone put that, is, again, the EcoStar one that did get the 2% of Starlink. Again, year to date, it's up 200% because of that jump. Going from $27 and then going all the way up towards, again, $80. Best place for us to be able to get that one would be somewhere in the low 60s. Over the last 1 year, it's up 162%. Year to date, up 212%. Last 6 months, up 197%. But you can see over the last 1 month, down 7%. Last 5 days, down 2%. Over the last 1 day, down 1%. So again, I do think a pullback will be coming over on Eco. And EcoStar, and we should be able to get some nice dip buy opportunities come up in the future. Michael D says, Dek, I got a question for you. Why do 90% of retail traders lose money, and how do the 10% become winners? So I think that is a great question. Michael D asked, why do 90% of retail traders lose? And why do 10% become successful? Now, this is my favorite analogy out there. Sometimes I read that stat and people are like, oh, I don't even want to become a stock trader. The thing is, let's think about this in a different manner, in a different light. We have less than 2% of people who play sports make it into the professional league. If that's football, less than 2% of the people who play football actually get into the NFL. Less than 3% of people in the world that apply to an Ivy League school get accepted. Less than 1% of people who want to become actors and get on a big movie screen actually ever get a gig or a leading role to be able to turn into a big-time actor. So you have a 99.9% chance of never becoming a superstar actor. You have a 97% chance of never being accepted into an Ivy League school. You have a 98% chance of never being a professional athlete of any capability. So the thing is, the stat is, we know the stat, say 90% of stock traders are going to fail, 10% are going to be successful. To me, again, I'm giggling with joy. I'm saying, you're telling me 1 out of 10 of us are going to be successful? Those odds are amazing. Guys, because who's your competition? Your competition are a whole bunch of fat loads, again, sitting on their couch just reading Reddit all day, saying to themselves, oh, I'm going to go ahead and buy this play because people say I like it and that's a funny meme. That's your competition who you're going against. That's your stats. The fact is, again, the people who aren't successful, you got to think about, let's say, regardless, 50% of the people who fail are people that aren't even in the question. People that are, again, just taking money and gambling. People that are taking money and doing no research whatsoever. So 50% of the people already that are failing have no business of even succeeding in the first place. It's like someone who says, I want to get in shapes and, again, goes to Krispy Kreme Donuts and has a season pass. Right? It's like, that's not even, those people aren't even a question. So that's already bringing up the stats a little bit. Then on top of that, you do have people who actually work hard and try to figure things on out. And some people, again, just get too emotional. Some people are way too emotional that says, hey, you know what? I just can't trade. There's money on the line. It means so much to me. I mess up. I overthink. They're a nervous Nelly, right? It's basically, again, like the leader of the chess club about to kiss the cheerleader on prom night. Next thing you know, he's passed out and wakes up in an ambulance, right? So the thing is, sometimes we see that happen where it's just some people don't got it. And then from there, we usually start seeing success. You know, the thing that has always stuck in my mind, and it is true. If you truly put your mind to something and you wake up day after day after day after day and you say, I want to accomplish this, you will accomplish it. If you wake up day after day after day and say, I want to learn how to play the guitar, and you pick up that guitar and you play every single day, I will guarantee that after a few weeks to a few months to a few years, you will be incredible at it. If you wake up day after day after day and you say, I want to learn Japanese, and you sit there and you watch anime and you hire a tutor and you again watch YouTube videos and you do that every day, I can guarantee you will be good at it. If you say, I want to make money, and you think about different ways to make money, if that's real estate, if that's business, if that's investing, and you put your mind to it every day, I guarantee you will become an educated, finance, smart investor. Now, again, you got to find your niche. You got to find what works best for you. I'm not saying, again, playing these small penny stocks where, again, you can turn into gambles. Maybe, again, you want to go ahead and do dividends. Maybe you want to go ahead and do long-term investments. Maybe you just want to put your money in ETFs, whatever it may be. But I'm saying, again, there are so many ways to be successful in the stock market. You just got to find what works best for you. My favorite thing to do is, again, the most fun. I have fun every morning because I wake up every single morning and I say, guys, guess what happened? We just had a stock absolutely explode. Stock goes on a big time rip and run. Let's short it all the way back down to the ground. I love riding a play on up and then shorting it back on down to its demise. That's the most fun. I love making shit ton of money every day. That's what I like to do. Again, long-term plays are a little slow, a little boring. Don't really do as much for us, right? A little slow. Oh, hey, guys, I got a dividend payment of $22 after a quarter, right? It's like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. I like playing the fast stuff, the active stuff. I'm passionate every day. I wake up. That's why I'm successful at it. So there's reasons. Now, if you want to get more into like even specifics, like we could say, well, what's the number one reason people, aren't successful? Let's say for the people who do put in work. A lot of times people don't set stop losses. That's the number one thing. And you might fall into this category. Show of hands. Don't be shy. I guarantee you're going to have a buddy. Guaranteed. How many people here, when they're up $50, they take their profits, but they don't get out of a trade until they're down $400? How many people here have more red? When you lose double, triple, quadruple, quintuple of what you win. Who here jumps on a play when you're up 50, 100, 200 bucks? You say, yes, I'm taking my gains. Let's go. I just won. But when you're down 50 and you're saying, okay, maybe it'll come back. You're down 200. Okay, let me give it a little bit more time. You're down 1,000. Oh, fuck, this sucks. Okay, I'll get out. And you lose 1,200. How many times do you lose one time and it takes 14 wins just to make it back? You got to reverse that. Your trading's all wrong. Trading's all wrong, guys. You're basically, again, having a reverse. You know, reverse is going forward and forward's going reverse at this moment in your car. You got to bring that thing to a mechanic and get that thing fixed. Set a stop loss. Allow yourself to be able to take a loss every now and then, as long as it's a little pinch. Little pinches don't matter. So right now, let's see here, team WORX, still trying to get some hype. BIYA, ALTO, CCLD, RAVE, INN. All right, traders. Great questions, though. Great questions from absolutely everyone. So, guys, amazing, amazing day. Obviously, I'm going to be watching today for AMPX earnings tonight. Again, just a little heads on up. I did invest about $6,200. I got involved at this play around the price of $12.60. 500 shares at $12.60. This is a long-term play that I had been holding. I invested, as I said, $6,000. Earnings are coming on out here tonight. We're looking forward to seeing what this play does and you know, where the spike and ripping and running is going to be heading. So. You know, let's see what we do over on AMPX here. Obviously, if we get any sort of big spikes, any sort of big rips, any sort of big runs, any sort of big climbs, I will, again, let you guys know. Again, dropping the links for everyone. Number one, as always, if you guys want, the bundle deal ends tomorrow. So, today and tomorrow, final days to get the bundle. You guys will be all set, ready to rock, and make sure you guys get after it. If you guys want, number two, Fox Runner, type in the word Foxy. You will get 30% off. This is hands down my favorite scanner. This is how I do my morning prep every single day. That is a must. Number three, Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is probably the scanner that I've been using the longest. Once you guys sign up to Trade Ideas, send me an email at dekmartrades@gmail.com. And again, I will give you my scanner layout so that you and I have the same exact scanner layout. Last but not least, make sure you guys sign on up over here to tradecaster.com. Again, be part of our community. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get ourselves excited. And again, get yourself over here with the squad, with the team. Last but not least, if you guys are interested over in prop firm trading, make sure you guys sign on up over on One Stop Prop. That is the prop firm that I am funded with. $100,000 trades. You guys are all good. Make sure you guys go check those on out. So, links are there here. Team, make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled over on, again, EcoStar. I am going to look for an investment on that play as it comes on down towards around like $62, $59 in the near future. We are cracking the 50-day moving average. Something bad may happen in the future. We're just staying ready for that in case that does happen, in case that weakness happens. And I do think weakness is going to be coming on EcoStar. So a little heads on up. Watch for the weakness before, again, we start moving ourselves on up. Other than that, AMPX tonight. No other big rippers and runners. The number one top gainer with the best news here today was what? Number one, best top gainer here today was STGW. STGW did have a press release with Palantir, right? So STGW had a press release with Palantir, went on a crazy spike, but unfortunately gave everything on back. So if we take a look at that, STGW, it just couldn't hold up its gains, and the stock has been fading and falling since this morning. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, traders from everyone, I just want to say you guys are absolutely incredible. You guys are absolutely amazing. Absolutely love being here with you. I need you guys to be with me right here and right now. Get the energy up. Get the excitement up. Help me wrap up this day this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some big things coming up here in the future. Get excited, get motivated, and get ready to go. I'll be here all day. If you need anything at all, please let me know. Starting to slow down. This has been a little bit of a slow week. You guys know it. I know it. We all know it. It's been a tough week. Let's not, again, get emotional. Let's not get gambly. Let's not burn our accounts. There will be some amazing opportunities coming up right around the future. Let's not put ourselves in positions to lose. Let's do things right. Let's be smart. Let's be safe. And let's, again, make these good trades when they come. All right? I love you. Help me wrap it on up. Enjoy it, guys. I'll see you guys later on. Thank you so much. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Ah! Woo! Traders, you're amazing. I love you, baby. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Profit today? Did you come out on top today? I'm the Batman. I got this question the other day. Why are you successful?
So I ball so hard, motherfucker.
$1,000 profit today.
But first niggas gotta find me.
$700.
50 grand to a motherfucker like me. Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy.
$1,000.
Y'all know that don't shit phase. And as we go,
Lock it on up.
too when I look at you like this shit gravy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even pro be here. Ball so hard since we
1,400.
here. It's only right that we be fair.
Who's ready for $1 million year?
You should be asking how to be successful.
Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6.
The life I live when I thought that I was gonna go crazy. Now my grandmama ain't the only girl calling me baby. And if you feeling me now, then put your hands up in the sky and let me hear you say,
Feel my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where it starts. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
I'm so alone, trying to find my way back home to you. I'm so alone, nothing feels like home. I'm so alone, trying to find my way back home to you. I'm so alone, nothing feels like home. Take my hand now.
This is free love. That's what we are made of. Yes, we are. Real love. This is real love. That's what we are made of. Yes, we are.
Trying to find my way back home to you. I'm so alone, nothing feels like home. I'm so alone, trying to find my way back home to you.
So you wanna play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're falling for.